Hello, Internet friends. Here's part 2.
The establishment races are already doing this on many laws. There are countless instances of cities ignoring federal gun law, federal immigration law, laws limiting eminent domain, and they just do what they want. And it works because the only way to counter the people's veto is to send in some sort of military force against the states or municipalities who are enacting the people's veto. And it's much easier for a judge to just scribble some words, to say words, call it an injunction, and then it is up to either federal security forces or the military itself to march into Cheyenne and enforce an unpopular law on an ostensibly sovereign state. It's one thing for a judge to scribble something down, it's quite another to strap it up and enforce it. And this is also why I support the Electoral College. Oh, Wyoming gets too many electoral votes on a population basis. Our attitude needs to not be, well, the founders didn't want one region to dominate another region of the country just because they have, say, a 60% majority. That's all well and good. Those sorts of logical arguments are all well and good, but the correct response to anyone whining about the disproportionate vote share granted by the Electoral College is, go choke on shit, California. We are going to do everything we can to enforce our will wherever we can. We don't care about you, and we don't care about the citizens of California. We're not going to be free market chumps anymore. We are going to get free shit from the federal government, and you are going to pay for it. Because that's what they've been doing to us for over 50 years. They've been ignoring the law and just doing what they want. The courts even punished the Southeast U.S. for segregation, even though segregation was legal at the time. One key concept of the founding of the U.S. was that there would be no corruption of blood. But the current Democrats are pushing for slavery reparations. Reparations for what? They were slaves. They weren't citizens, and slavery was legal at the time. But they don't care. Prior legality doesn't matter to them, and they will punish you for what are in theory the sins of the father. They believe in corruption of blood. The people's veto is a word for a new mentality. I saw some Vox or HuffPo, same thing really, some other establishment racist post on how federal grants were going disproportionately to states and areas within states that supported Trump, and how Trump's tariffs disproportionately benefited states that voted for him. And this was meant to guilt Trump supporters or some horseshit and say, oh, you guys claim to be for the free market, but it looks like you're socialists here. Look, if that's socialism, then I'm a socialist. Let's stop being chumps. It's always been that if we win, we get to endure the rigors of the free market. And if they win, they get all sorts of free goodies and protections and sinecures. This has to stop. Take away their goodies, make them pay for our goodies, kick them out wherever we can get away with it, and just do what we want. Judges can make noise. I didn't write the law. I never agreed to it. I ignore it. I nullify it. I enact the people's veto. And if they don't like it, well, strap it up and come at us if you think you're hard enough. Now me, I'm just some guy with a YouTube channel and a lot of free time. So all I can do is express this mentality, and hopefully it filters through to people with the ability to enact it. But the first step is to establish this mentality. 3 arrows up. Strike up and against what is really the far right. In a functional sense, we are the left. We are the working class. We are the third estate, pitted against the professor priesthood and the ruling elites. Some shithead might come in and say, well, actually, historically, 3 arrows means opposition to Nazism, capitalism, and monarchism. Okay, well, we're not living in historically. We're living in 2019. And what all those turds with the 3 arrows logo down, what they do now is act as shock troops for the establishment. Their logo is fitting. They punch down and against the third estate, against the real left. And as they have ascended to power, corporations have consolidated like never before. Corporate control over free speech is greater than ever before. They don't need company stores anymore. They just have you herded into their monopolistic corporations like Amazon. They don't need the Pinkertons. They'll just import scabs from every corner of the globe.